I found this story where it shouldn't have been, and once you hear it, it doesn't let go. The first time I saw my own reflection walk into the lake, I wasn't in the water. I was standing on the shore watching it happen. I'm Mr. D, and if you want more stories that feel quiet at first and then ruin your peace in a slow, perfect way, like, share, and subscribe to Bloody Chapter. Because this lake didn't show me the past. It rehearsed my future. I went there to clear my head, nothing dramatic. Just a drive out of the city after midnight to a place locals called Mirror Lake like it was a nickname, not a warning. The road was empty, the trees thick, and the fog hung low enough to make my headlights look weak. When I reached the parking area, the air smelled like wet stone and cold leaves, and the lake sat beyond the trees like a dark sheet of glass, too still, too flat. Reflecting the moon so cleanly it looked like someone painted it. I walked down to the shoreline and stopped because the surface wasn't reflecting the night the way water should. It was reflecting me too clearly. Not a ripple, not a wobble. A perfect copy down to the fold in my hoodie and the way my shoulders slouched when I was tired. I raised my hand. The reflection raised its hand. Normal. I took a step. It took a step. Normal. Then I noticed something wrong. My reflection's timing was just slightly ahead. Not enough to scream impossible, just enough to make my stomach tighten. Like it knew what I was about to do before I did it. I told myself it was nerves and the angle and the moon playing tricks. Then my phone buzzed with no signal, and the screen lit up with a single line of text like a notification without an app. Last 24 hours playback available. A second line appeared. Do not interrupt. I should have left right then, but curiosity is how horror gets permission. I stared back at the lake, and the reflection did something I didn't. It turned its head slowly toward the left, as if it heard a sound in the trees. I didn't hear anything, but a second later I did. A soft crunch of leaves. Not close, not far. Just enough to make me look. And when I looked back to the water, the reflection was already facing forward again, calm. Like it was teaching me the order of events. The lake surface shifted suddenly, not ripples, but a clean change, like a screen switching clips. And I saw a scene that wasn't now. It was earlier, me at home, in my kitchen, opening a cabinet, my own movements playing across the water as if it was a video. I watched myself drink water at my sink, watched myself check my phone, watched myself pause at my window. It was my day, but replayed silently, perfectly. I backed away, breath coming fast, and the playback followed me like it was attached. The image in the lake cut to me driving, then to me stepping out of my car here at the lot, then to me walking down to the shore, like it was rewinding until it caught up to the present. When the replay reached the moment I was living, the surface returned to my reflection, and the reflection smiled. I didn't. My mouth stayed stiff, but the copy in the lake smiled like it was happy to see me. The fog behind me thickened, and I felt that quiet pressure you feel when a room gets too silent. The reflection raised its hand and pointed to the water beside its feet as if it wanted me to look down. I leaned forward slightly and saw something beneath the surface. Pale shapes, like faces, not floating, watching. The reflection's finger traced a slow line across its throat, a gesture that felt like warning. Then the lake changed again, like a screen cutting to the next clip. It showed me tomorrow morning, sitting in the same chair I always sit in, except my chair was facing the wrong direction, facing the bathroom door. And in that replay, I was staring at something I couldn't see. Then the clip ended instantly, snapping back to my reflection, still smiling, still ahead of my movements. And behind me, in the trees, the leaf crunch came again, closer this time, like the lake was sinking the world to match what it wanted me to do next. I stepped back from the shoreline and told myself to leave, to get in my car and never come here again. But the lake didn't let the moment end cleanly. It switched scenes again, like it was browsing through my life. I watched myself at my apartment door, keys in hand. But the keyring was wrong. An extra key I don't own. I watched myself enter my living room. But the lamps were arranged differently. Small changes, subtle, surgical. Like someone editing a video so gently you wouldn't notice until it mattered. My heart hammered as I realized the lake wasn't just replaying. It was testing variations. I raised my phone to record the water as proof. And the second my camera pointed at the surface, the playback froze, like the lake didn't want to be captured. My phone screen went black for a heartbeat, then came back with the camera open and a warning message across it. No recording. The words weren't from my phone or Android, not from any system font I recognized. Just clean white text that looked like it belonged to the lake itself. I lowered the phone, shaking, and the surface resumed. The reflection appeared again, but its eyes were different now. Too still, too focused, like it was learning my panic. It lifted its hand and mimicked writing in the air, slow and deliberate, like it was taking notes. Then the lake cut to a new clip, me driving home tonight, except in the clip I didn't drive home. I drove past my exit. I drove deeper into the city, and my reflection in the rearview mirror smiled even though my real face didn't. The clip jumped again, me entering my apartment, except my front door didn't open into my hallway. It opened into a darker hallway, longer, with no pictures on the wall. A hallway that wasn't mine. I backed away, whispering no, and the lake's surface sharpened as if the word fed it. The tree line behind me creaked like something shifting its weight. I turned fast and saw nothing but fog and trunks. When I faced the water again, my reflection was closer. Not physically still inside the lake, but closer in presence, as if the distance between us had thinned. It raised its hand and pressed its palm to the inside of the water surface like glass. And where its palm touched, the lake brightened faintly, showing me my own handprint shape in light under the surface. An imprint, a match. My stomach twisted because it felt like the lake was taking measurements. The surface cut to another clip tomorrow afternoon, me standing at this same lake again. Except I wasn't alone. There were people behind me, silhouettes with phones raised, filming. And in the clip, I turned toward them and spoke, mouth forming words I couldn't hear. Then the clip cut instantly to black, and the reflection returned, smiling wider, like it approved of that outcome. I tried to force myself to leave, but my feet wouldn't move quickly. My body kept pausing, like it was waiting for cues, and the lake kept giving them. The leaf crunch in the trees, the wind shifting, the fog thickening. The reflection lifted one finger, then another, counting, like it was counting down to a moment. My phone buzzed again with another text like alert, playback complete. Then, editing mode enabled. I froze. The reflection tilted its head and did something that made my blood go cold. It opened its mouth and mouthed my name with perfect accuracy. Mr. D. No sound came from the water, but the name landed in my head anyway, like a thought that wasn't mine. And as it mouthed it, the surface behind it changed, showing my apartment bathroom door from inside my hallway. And in that future clip, I walked toward that door like I was being pulled. and the reflection in the mirror behind me walked a half step ahead, guiding. The lake snapped back to my reflection, smiling, and I realized the truth. This wasn't a lake showing me memories. It was a lake trying out versions of me until it found the one that ended the way it wanted. I finally forced my legs to move and stumbled back toward the parking lot, refusing to look at the water again. But the lake didn't need my eyes anymore. It had already put the next scene in my head. The fog thickened on the path like it was pushing me, and when I reached my car, the windows were fogged from the inside like someone had been breathing in it. I wiped the glass with my sleeve and saw my own face staring back at me from the driver's seat. Then the fog shifted and it was gone. I yanked the door open empty. I got in, slammed it, locked it, and the lock sound felt weak against the silence. My phone lit up again with a new alert, return to shore. I threw the phone onto the passenger seat like it burned, started the engine, and the dashboard clock flickered. 3:17, then corrected itself to the real time, like it had briefly synced to the lake schedule. I drove out fast, tires spitting wet gravel, heart shaking my hands on the wheel. And as I turned onto the road, my rear view mirror showed the lake behind me like a dark eye. Except the reflection in the mirror wasn't my car leaving. It was my car arriving. Headlights approaching the lot. Coming back. I blinked hard and the mirror returned to normal. But the fear stayed. At home, I climbed the stairs too quickly, fumbling my keys, and when my door finally opened, I stopped dead, because my living room was arranged wrong. The chair that always faced the TV was turned, facing the bathroom door. Exactly like the Tomorrow clip the lake had shown. My blood went cold. I didn't move the chair. I hadn't been home. And yet my apartment looked like it had been staged for a scene I'd already watched. I stepped inside slowly, lights on, and the air smelled faintly of lake water, cold and metallic. My bathroom mirror was covered with a towel from earlier, but the towel was damp, as if it had been pressed against wet glass. I backed away, breathing shallow, refusing to uncover it. Then my TV turned on by itself, not static, a clear reflection-like image of the lake surface, and a clean line of text across the screen, edit saved. The phone buzzed on the couch, playback ready. I didn't touch it, but the camera opened by itself, front-facing, and my own face appeared on screen. Only the face on the screen smiled, and my real mouth didn't. I stared at myself and felt my skin tighten because the smile looked practiced, like it had been tested in 100 versions. A soft drip came from the hallway ceiling, then another. I looked down and saw a small puddle forming near the bathroom door. Water where there shouldn't be water. The bathroom handle turned slightly. Not fully, just a test, like a latch being checked. And in the silence, the lake voice arrived again, not spoken out loud, but planted inside my head with the certainty of a memory. This version is better. I pressed my back to the wall, shaking, and the towel over the mirror began to slide on its own, inch by inch, as if something behind it was pulling. I grabbed it, yanked it off instinctively, stupidly, and the mirror showed me standing there. But my reflection was already turning toward the open bathroom door, moving ahead of me, smiling. Then the lights flickered, the mirror image blurred like water, and for one heartbeat, the reflection was not a reflection at all. It was me. Wet-haired, eyes too calm, handprints on the glass like it had climbed out. The bathroom door clicked open softly, and the last thing I heard before the sound drained out of my ears was the lake replaying my own voice in my head like an edited clip. I'm home. I'm Mr. D. And if you ever find a lake that reflects your day too perfectly, don't stay to watch, because sooner or later it stops replaying your life and starts replacing it. Like, share, and subscribe to Bloody Chapter. And thanks for watching.